Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much to all of you who've taken time to join us this afternoon to learn more about the IMM Graduate School and its qualifications. The IMM Graduate School has a very long history in higher education, specifically focusing on the areas of marketing, business, and supply chain. The institute actually was originally established in 1948 and started conferring qualifications shortly after that. And so we have a history of over 60 years of degrees, diplomas, and postgrad diplomas to students all over the world. Our provenance and our reason for being initially was for developing content and programs and qualifications based on direct industry requirements. The IMM Graduate School prides itself on its industry linkages and being close to what employers and businesses need and require from graduates entering the workplace, and building that together with a sound base of theoretical knowledge into our qualifications. We currently offer 12 tertiary accredited qualifications, including a flagship Master's in Philosophy in Marketing. And we have a pipeline of various other new exciting qualifications. We also do offer various non-accredited programs, short courses, and professional qualifications. And we will be talking about one of those specifically a little bit later. We pride ourselves as the premier marketing, business, and supply chain institution in South Africa, and have graduated a large number, over 25,000 graduates into industry over the last number of years. And we are an international institution with a student base currently studying in over 20 different countries and being supported by the IMM Graduate School from our base in South Africa. I thought I would try sketch out a couple of our principles and values to give you a better understanding about the DNA and the foundations that IMM is built on and what we strive to provide to our customers, or our students in this case. We think about ourselves in terms of various pillars that support the IMM Graduate School brand, institution, and ultimately its key stakeholders being the alumni, graduates, and students. First and foremost, we focus on best-in-class content. That is really non-negotiable at a tertiary education institution. And so that means the theory needs to be sound and seminal. It needs to be relevant and up-to-date. And very importantly, it needs to be specific to the current environment and to the jobs that our graduates will be doing once they leave IMM and enter the workplace. And it goes without saying that it's high quality and accurate and compelling. We also pride ourselves specifically on the next pillar, which is the personalized support. In a digital environment and with online studying, it's easy to feel lost and unengaged or suffer from a lack of engagement with the campus and with your fellow classmates and with your lecturers. We continually strive to reduce this gap and to make the academic journey and the student experience journey as close to a face-to-face or a physical relationship as possible. It goes without saying that the academic support is sound and that one has access to lecturers and tutors and support staff at any point in time. But more than that, we also have a very compelling and robust student support platform that can address any of your questions, be it administrative related, exams related, study methodology related. And we pride ourselves on our response time. So our students sitting anywhere in the world can rest assured that a response will be forthcoming. And currently we monitor this actually on a weekly basis, and our response time currently during working hours is 11 minutes, which is something that we strive to get down to into the seconds, but that's a work in progress. And then finally, the empathetic nature. Studying is tough, it's stressful. Writing exams is tough and it can be stressful. And so we embed as much as is possible, and we're striving to continue to raise our game on this, but to embed the empathy into this digital platform and to have our students know that we are invested in their academic success and that we are with them the whole way. The next pillar is really very relevant in the COVID environment that we find ourselves in today, and that's our technology-driven delivery. We also understand, given our long history of teaching and learning with students since for many decades, that all students are different. Students prefer different types of technology. Some people still prefer physical textbooks. Some people like to study in the evenings a little bit. Some people like to study in the weekends and big chunks, or in the mornings. We understand all that. And so we have built our content to be very flexible based on your own personal requirements and your own personal situation. So we don't force everyone down one channel, but we make various mostly technology-driven platforms available for students to choose for themselves and deliver the most flexibility on that basis. But obviously in today's technologically enabled world, sessions such as webinars, e-tutorials, open sessions, discussion forums, workshops are all supported on our very compelling learner management system, which is basically the virtual campus that provides the support to you as a student to be able to take every step of your academic journey, knowing that there's a single repository and that all the communication platforms and applications are in place. The next pillar is the industry recognition. As I mentioned in the earlier slide, our provenance comes from linkages to industry and basing our qualifications on what industry's requirements are. There is a risk and at times for degrees and diplomas to err on the theoretical side, and the result of that is students who enter the workplace with a strong academic and theoretical underpin, but not necessarily the practical or understanding the practical application of the various skill set into a workplace. So as IMM Graduate School, we really pride ourselves on balancing those two components, and we continually strive to understand, on the one hand, what the industry needs are and what are employers looking for in graduates, and more than just employers, what is the market needing, because we do also understand that many of our graduates embark on an entrepreneurial route and need to be able to hit the floor running, so to speak. And so we review our content very regularly and have cycles to address the latest. And in the marketing context, digital marketing platforms are forever changing. We've now got TikTok, and TikTok may be a thing of the past relatively soon, looking at some of the news articles. But we have TikTok now, and so what does that mean for our digital marketing and how we think about digital marketing? But obviously, the theory is very important, and those seminal concepts are enforced and reinforced, and the practicality is built on top of that. And then finally, IMM Graduate School is, while it's based and it was established in South Africa as an international institution, our qualifications are focused on skills that are acquired globally. And as you might understand and might see, marketing is very similar. Yes, there are vernaculars and nuances from country to country and region to region, but the key principles are very similar. And increasingly, the various digital marketing platforms are very, very similar across countries. And so, and I think that stands our graduates really in good stead. So being able to apply knowledge learned in one country and making their career ambitions and geographic ambitions and a reality, and being able to potentially travel and work elsewhere. So we have that in the back of our minds. And so when we're teaching and when we're conferring qualifications, these qualifications are internationally relevant and internationally recognized. And as I mentioned, we have students currently studying in over 20 different countries and our alumni all over the world.
Hi everyone, I'm Angela Brevet. I am the Executive Academic Head of the IMM Graduate School of Marketing, and I'd like to just share some of the exciting things that we're doing at the IMM Graduate School. And the first thing is, what is marketing about? And when you think about marketing, you think of brands, you think of companies, and I want to just take a few seconds to take you through some things that we find exciting about marketing and just start to stimulate your senses in terms of just how important marketing is and how it is all over the world, not only in Dubai, and what an integral part of society marketing is. So let's start with a couple of questions. You're welcome to type in answers. What brand of coffee did you drink this morning? Now, in the previous slide, you would have seen I referred to Costa, and I can honestly say when I land at Dubai Airport, the first thing I do is I go and get a cup of Costa coffee because we don't get it here in South Africa. But what is your rationale? Anissa, I see you drink Starbucks. That's amazing. The second thing I'd like to ask is, have you ever bought anything online? Is there a brand or a supplier that you trust enough to buy online, to give them your security card details in terms of your credit card? What did you buy? Most of you will laugh when you hear what mine was. I bought water online in Japan. They delivered it within half an hour of us placing the order. It was absolutely incredible. The other question is, have you ever stood in the shower singing a jingle from an ad? Has it been one of those things that you just keep hearing over and over again? We're in the midst of a pandemic. My fourth question to you would be, has there been a product that hasn't been available? What is it that you've missed during this time? In South Africa, we've been in a very, very strict lockdown, and half the shelves were empty. People went on a spree of buying toilet rolls. What is it that you missed? And then if I mention the word Emirates to you, what is it that you think of? Do you immediately think of the airline? Do you immediately think of a soccer park? What is it that you think about? And the last question I'd like to ask you is relating back to the brands and the brands you love. Is why do you love them? What is it that you trust and makes it so special for you? I really respect and admire Unilever as an organization and what they've done in terms of branding. And Niall Fitzgerald said, a brand is a storehouse of trust that matters more and more as choices multiply. People want to simplify their lives. And when we go shopping, we don't go down an aisle and nothing is labeled. It says stuff, more stuff, generic stuff. When we go shopping, we shop as though we're in the middle of Times Square. Everything is branded. When you go to a foreign country, those brands that you know and trust are the first ones that you go out and try. I love this little image because it shows from an American Express in Barbie's hands to Gap to how brands just stay relevant and are all over the show. A few years ago when Justin Bieber was a hit, many of the Ken dolls started adopting a Justin Bieber hairstyle. And I had little boys at that stage. And we were walking in a huge shopping center and they had these Ken dolls on display. And my little boys, who were probably 4 and 5 at the time, said, "Look, there's Justin Bieber." And I realized just how influential people are in terms of their personal brands as well. So Jeff Bezos said, a brand is what someone says about you when you're not in the room. Think about it. What do I say about you when you're not there? Do I trust you? Do I like you? And as a marketer, we have a huge role to play in terms of that establishment of that brand when the brand is not in the room. We call it brand reputation. But if you think about this iconic shape, you'll guess immediately it's Coca-Cola. If you look at these magnifying glasses and the shape that they're in, you'll know it's Audi. if you look at this, you don't even have to know it's Dr. Seuss's day, but you'll know that it's Google. Why? Because marketers have invested time and energy in establishing and building these so that they become recognizable and trusted. And so we often say marketing makes the world go round. And it does, because we only look, generally, people think marketing is advertising, but it's not. We look at the whole cycle: product, place, promotion. We look at the people that are involved in it. We look at our customers and what they want. We look at research, strategy. We look at the money. So there's a whole lot involved in marketing, and it's not just restricted to one little area of advertising or promotion, which is really an exciting part, but that's not the be all and end all. If we look at our academic programs from an IMM point of view, you would say, well, why should we go to the IMM to study marketing? And the reason is we are experts in business education. We specialize in marketing and business. We also offer supply chain management. And the two things that stand out, Delane alluded to them, was that our qualifications are asked for by name in industry and that they're globally recognized. And I think that's really, really important. You know, people say to us, well, you know, who should study at the IMM? Who would benefit? And basically everybody would benefit because we have such good things in place, such good structures to turn our graduates into futureneers, into business leaders, because we don't only focus on the academic theory. We take the practical examples and we integrate it into our syllabus. We also realize that the way of the world is changing, and the way we taught in 1948 when we started will be completely different to the way we teach today. John Dewey said, if we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, we rob them of tomorrow. The chalk and board is still important, but it's been replaced by iPads, by us doing webinars, Zoom meetings, and the like. So if you look at the IMM Graduate School and what we're offering in the marketing space as a distance learning institution, we've got two exciting programs on the marketing side. The first is called our BCom in Marketing and Management Science, and the other is our BBA in Marketing Management. And the BCom in Marketing Science, I'm going to chat to you a little bit about it and why it might be interesting for you to rather choose that, or if maybe you're a BBA type of student and that's rather what you should be doing. I've taken three things that I'm really looking at and I think will help you navigate your way. Firstly, who is our typical student who would be studying it? The second thing is what makes it a good qualification to have? And the third is what can I do with it afterwards? We've always said our degrees are a means to an end. Ultimately, you're looking for a great job. You're looking for a career. And our degrees put you on that trajectory. The other important thing that is critical is whilst our degrees are job ready, make our students job ready, they also ensure that in 30 years' time, you will still be relevant. So we teach you how to think critically, how to problem solve, and how to be a great, great marketer. So the BCom in Marketing and Management Science, who? And it's really for school leavers who are interested in marketing, but not really sure if they want to go into other sides of the business, or if they want to go into sales, or if they want to go into supply chain. So it's a fantastic qualification because it gives you a good business grounding. And what makes it really, really great is you've got two majors. The one is marketing and the other is business management. But you then have a third choice in terms of your majors. You can either go into sales management, you can go into project management, or you can choose supply chain management, which are critical because for any postgraduate work, that major will put you in good stead to pursue a career of your choice. We also have electives like digital marketing and project management in this. So it depends if you're really, really sure that you want to be a marketer and a marketer only. I'm going to recommend the degree that we're going to chat about next, the BBA. But if you're not really sure and you like marketing, but you're quite interested in management and management science, then I would suggest that the BCom is absolutely spot on for you. What's the USP? Well, it's commerce-based, and that's what the COM stands for it's a Bachelor of Commerce degree. There's statistics in it, there's economics in it, we cover finance 1 and 2, so it's a really good business qualification, and we focus on business research theory, the business project, and what makes it really special is there are very few qualifications that offer you sales management up to 3rd year level. Often it's done as an elective or it's done as an entry level module. So it's really, really been tailor-made to suit people in business. What can you do with it? Well, the world is your oyster. The typical careers for our BCom graduates are general manager, sales manager. Obviously, if you go on to the marketing side of it, you can be a marketing manager, a product manager. It's a wide variety of business options. And I always say that at the IMM, we don't just create great marketers. We create great business people who just happen to be great at marketing, sales management, supply chain management, or business management. There's also a side of operations management that is available in this qualification that gives you a whole good rounding as a business leader, a potential business leader. The second qualification is our Bachelor's of Business Administration in Marketing, and that's really for people who have got their eye on becoming the marketing director, the CMO, the growth officer, the CEO. A BBA is almost a precursor to the MBA. A lot of people know about an MBA, and the BBA is really the undergraduate precursor to it, as I said. So what makes this program so good is that you have finance up until your 3rd year. It's a major, which means that our students are equipped to not only do advertising and digital marketing campaigns, but they can earn the right to sit at the boardroom tables of global companies. This is for the serious marketing professional who has their career mapped out for them in terms of this. They will have a great business administration background, but they will also have a really good full of marketing and marketing related electives in this. It's quite interesting because our electives in here range from global marketing to business marketing, services marketing, retail marketing, digital marketing. Our compulsory subjects here are integrated marketing communications and brand management. And in the beginning of my speech, I spoke about the importance of branding. That's what we resonate with. That's what excites us. We have either an emotional connection to them, a functional connection, or a self-expressive connection. And by that I mean, when you put on those Gucci sunglasses, you feel like $1 million. Why? Because that brand evokes those self-expressive benefits in you. So moving on, what's the USP? Spoken quite a lot about the USPs in here. It has a really strong marketing focus, and we also introduce you to marketing research, and that takes the form of theory and a project. It's hands-on experience in terms of being a marketing manager, which will put you in good stead for doing your honors in marketing as well, or any other postgraduate qualification in marketing, like the postgraduate diploma. The typical careers, marketing managers, directors, CMOs. Obviously, you work your way up there. So the entry level might be research analysts, social media managers, digital managers, advertising managers, working your way up to the marketing director, CMO. And as I said, the new word is growth officer. So those are our undergraduate qualifications. We've got a Bachelor of Commerce in Marketing and Management Science, and we've got a Bachelor's of Business Administration in Marketing Management. Both brilliant qualifications. You wouldn't go wrong choosing either one of them. It depends on what you want to do when you finish studying. If we move on to our postgraduate qualification, this is probably the qualification that excites me the most. We went and did a whole study of what is happening globally in terms of postgraduate diplomas. And we tailor-made our postgraduate diploma so that it is in line with what is happening globally. We looked at what are the subjects that a person should be doing when they are doing their postgraduate diploma, and how would we assess them? By that I mean, do you do assignments? Do you write exams? And we realized there is a big trend towards people doing projects and reports on a postgraduate diploma level. So you'll see there are actually only 2 of your modules where you write a physical exam. The rest of them are assignment-based, project-based, and really getting to grips with the content in a practical way. So who should be doing this? It's interesting. The first time I lectured one of the subjects on this program, I had a medical doctor and an engineer in the class, and I asked them why they were doing it. And both of them said to me, we've got our own practices, consultancies, and we need experience. We need to understand how marketing works. And so this is an absolutely brilliant practical postgraduate qualification for people who might have their own, as I say, might be speech therapists, might be accountants who are running their own businesses. It gives you a broad spectrum of marketing, but as I said, with a practical application. What a lot of students love about this is you don't have the huge onus of doing a marketing research report like you would do a dissertation. On this program, you don't have to do that. And that's what makes it very, very desirable and appealing for people who are already qualified professionals. Even if you're not a qualified professional and you want to be the head of a marketing consultancy or agency, this is absolutely the right qualification for you. There are amazing subjects here. Things like marketing metrics, marketing leadership, unusual, very modern modules. They're based on good, sound academic background, but they're modern and relevant. We didn't want our qualification to be stuck in the dark ages, and so we really looked at how we could make this appropriate. As I said, when you're qualified, it depends on what your undergraduate qualification is. If you're a professional, the chances are you will practically use this. If you're a marketing person, you could go on to be a category manager, a sales manager, and a specialist in marketing with this kind of qualification. The postgraduate diploma in marketing, as I said, is a very carefully thought through program, and the students who do embark on it have an absolutely amazing time because they're given freedom, they've given exposure, and it's really a solid qualification. I'm going to quickly move on to okay, so we've got these qualifications. I'm a distance learning student. How am I going to cope? And the function of education, as Martin Luther King Jr. said, is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. And when we looked at our institution as a distance learning institution, we said we need to have our learning and teaching at the heart of everything we do. We need to ensure that our students become these futureneers. How do we do that? I mentioned the critical thinking and problem solving. There needs to be a sense of community and spirit because people are on their own. So how do we engender this? How do we show them that we care for them? How do we ensure that we've got subject matter experts who are driving our modules? How do we ensure that we have sound educational principles at play? And these are things that we do at the IMM Graduate School on a continuous basis. As an educator, we're constantly educating ourselves. We want to be better. We look at improving all the time. And at the heart of our learning and teaching is our student. And our whole focus is student-centered. We realized that as we move more and more to online learning in a virtual and a digital space, the focus actually shifts away from the content to the student. It's less about us producing books. It's more about us engaging with the students so that they can read those books. And if we've got our students at the center of what we do, you will ask me, okay, I register as a student, what happens then? And the important thing is that we give you student-centered flexibility. By that I mean, we've got student support center tutorials, we've got workshops, we've got a platform called eLearn. And eLearn, I'm going to take you through a few slides. It's really amazing. It's really our virtual campus. And eLearn is designed in such a way that you would absolutely feel at home and be able to navigate your way around your study material. So here's a short tour. When you land and you open up the browser, the first thing you'll find is the welcome and orientation. And that gives you an insight into the institution, where we come from, where we're going, and how you can navigate yourself around the IMM as a distance learning institution. Then we go on to My Modules. So whichever modules you're registered for, you will have a button that you can click on and off you go into your classroom. In addition to that, there are things like academic support, your results get posted there, any notices and alerts are there, our policies and rules are there, any forms you require, contact information, any comments, criticisms, compliments, all there. It's a one-stop shop. It's a hub. We make it so much easier for our students to get hold of resources, to get hold of papers. Everything is in our eLearn. Students say, but I'm not going to have a lecturer. How will I cope? We have lecturers. Obviously, you won't be attending daily classes, but we've got an interactive study guide. And the importance of our interactive study guide on eLearn is it takes you through the modules step by step, gives you little interactive exercises to do, gives you YouTube videos to watch. It's absolutely brilliant. You're not left with some cold, hard reading that you just have to get on with. We navigate you through the whole study experience, and the interactive study guide is the first critical thing. The second critical thing is you say, oh, I'm a distance learning student, I'm going to be on my own. How am I going to get through all this stuff? We've addressed that. We have an interactive pacer. So on eLearn, you'll be able to click on this, and this pacer shows you exactly what you should be covering every week to prepare you for the exams so that you can cover all the content. It's an amazing, amazing tool for our students. If you don't want to use it, that's also fine. That's the flexibility you have with the IMM. We realize that our students need support, and it'll vary from student to student. There is access to our lecturers on our eLearn. We do have online submissions for our assignments. There are discussion forums on our eLearn for your module specific, where you've got shared learning and you create that community with your fellow students, asking questions, posing questions, answering them. The paces I've chatted about. We also have online tutorials. So every module will have 7 mini lectures, so to speak. They last about 45 minutes. They're interspersed between the whole semester. That gives you an opportunity to engage with the lecturer and ask them questions. We also have mock exam workshops and supplementary exams. We have assessment feedback reports. All these things culminate in making your student experience a seamless one at the IMM. You're not left alone. We encourage you, support you, and guide you through the process. The last thing I want to just touch on is we've got all these things in place. I've told you about our degrees. I've told you about our postgraduate diploma. I've told you very briefly how we focus on the student in terms of our teaching and learning. And I've said to you, these are the things that happen on eLearn, just very quickly, so that you could get a real sense of comfort that the IMM not only has best of breed in terms of distance learning, but that you have the flexibility to work and play and study whenever you want to. The question people often ask me is, so why the IMM? Why should I be studying through the IMM? What makes it special? And I think there are about 4 things that really stand out for me. The first is continuous engagement with industry. And we do that to ensure that there is real-world relevance to our modules. Our academics, our lecturers, our moderators are absolutely brilliant. They have vast industry experience, but they also have sound academic base. They know the theory, they understand it. The other thing from a marketing point of view is we view marketing holistically. We don't just hone in on advertising and say that's what marketing is about. We look at the broad picture. And probably the most exciting thing for me is we challenge our students. We expect our students to think critically. We expect them to challenge us. We expect them to be educated, not schooled. And finally, the IMM teaches you on a whole host of brands, a whole host of companies. And I always say, from Muji in Japan to Maserati, those are the things that we will use as case studies to ensure that there's global relevance no matter where in the world you are. Thank you.